All right, cool. So we're live now, but before we just jump straight into it, I want to first start off by saying the whole entire point of this kind of client testimonial, this client success story, this case study is to learn your perspective about the whole entire program, not anybody else's, no BS, no nothing. Everybody watching this video just wants the honest truth to know what results you had since joining and what you genuinely think about it. If it's shit, if you don't like parts of it or you think there's other parts that we could add, etc., voice that and just give your genuine opinion. That's all I ask. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Before we jump straight into it, can you quickly introduce yourself? You know, who you are, what you do, and how long you've actually been in this reseller industry for?
Um, Beckett, better known as Sold Out Kicks. I've been reselling for 3 years now, and then we're based out of Colorado.
Okay, cool. And then like what's your business model looking like?
Wholesale and apps.
Okay, so before you started joining the program, what did your sneaker reselling business look like? I know you were doing used shoes for a lot. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, so like the first, I want to say 2.5 years of reselling, I did mainly used singles, to like personal and some bulk buyers, but
How
mainly
was that?
personal.
Was it profitable or like what did you think about
Yeah,
that?
that was the most money that I made consistently. And
Okay.
then
Why'd you stop doing that though? Why didn't it work?
it became so time consuming to be able to find pairs. Like people would either just say, fuck off, no, I'm not taking your price, or it was just hard to source the amount of pairs that I would need and be able to spend all my capital.
Okay. So you feel like sourcing was the biggest issue? Was that like just used shoes?
Yeah, with used shoes specifically, sourcing was like it took hours to find 100 pairs.
Okay. Do you feel like selling like used shoes in bulk or to personal buyers is like sustainable nowadays, or like what do you think?
Um, I would say in bulk, yes. Singles, it takes too much time.
Do you sell used shoes in bulk?
Yeah, I actually just locked in a used bulk deal today that I
Okay.
drop shipped.
So it's obviously profitable. It's
Yeah.
obviously, but keep on going with what you're going. So after the used shoes and the personal buyers, like what did you do then?
Then I met with one of my friends who does apps, and he showed me, all the ropes and apps, and then I got really good at apps to now to the point where I know basically everything about selling on StockX, Alias, eBay, stuff like that. And then one of my friends who does wholesale, Austin actually, I was talking with him about, wholesale and all this stuff, and I got into that, and then I kept seeing Brayden pop up on my For You page and all this stuff. So I asked QC Hype, I was like, yo, is he any good? He goes, get on a call with him and you let me know if you think he's good. And then that was the first time I asked him about you. And then I asked him a second time a couple months later, and I got on the call with you, and the rest is history.
Right. So before, prior to joining and working with us, like what were the biggest struggles or challenges that you were maybe facing on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis with your business?
Having clients for sure, for wholesale and drop shipping, stuff like that.
So selling product, I mean, were you doing any wholesale at the time or was it just straight apps?
When I joined, I was barely wholesaling, and it was mainly apps.
Okay, cool. What made you want to go from apps to wholesale? Like, wasn't apps like pretty profitable nonetheless?
Yeah, apps is profitable, but like it's so easy to do. Like I'd spend maybe an hour a day on apps, and I would just have all this extra time where I'm just like, fuck, I have this extra 23 hours. I'm not making any money doing anything, so I might as well put my time to something that'll make me money.
Right. So, back to the challenges. So, buyers were an issue. Like, what else specifically? Like, what were you struggling with? Whether it was the wholesale or with apps or like, what was it specifically?
Apps, I had a lot of SKUs where I'd buy it before everyone, and then everyone else would buy it, and then the market would just tank, and I'd be fucked over with 30, 40 pairs of something that everyone else already has. So
Yeah.
that was so suppliers, I'd say.
Okay. For suppliers and buyers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, those challenges, like, obviously, those were affecting you in some way, shape, or form. Like, how did those make you feel about your business at the time? Like, was it a side hustle? Was it business? Was it sustainable? Or like, what was your perspective in that moment, like going through that?
I've always taken reselling seriously, but I'd say like I just felt lost, and like I didn't know what to do, and like how to get past the bridge of finding better buyers and better suppliers.
Okay, cool. And then what made you even decide to work with us and join the program? Like obviously you see in Austin, they said decent things about me and like you
Hmm.
on the call. Like what made you actually pay? Because it's obviously not free. You obviously paid a substantial amount of money. What made you do that?
My thought process is one, I have known Michael for 2 years, so if he says something, I know it's true. And then also, I'm gonna make back whatever the X amount of money it is that I put into the program the next month, regardless. So I either spend X amount of money and either benefit from it, or I make it back, or I spend no money and I will never know if the program would help me or if the program
So,
wouldn't help me.
so I asked you a question before you joined. It's really interesting, and I want you to kind of relay that. I asked you, why you joined, and you said something that your dad say. What did your dad say?
Oh, what was it?
Remember or no?
No, I don't remember off the top of my head.
This shit stuck with me. Like, I still remember this. I told Gabe about this. I still think about this. I asked you, I was like, okay, so like, what made you actually decide to join? And you were like, I asked my dad if he had ever
Oh
regretted
yeah, I
investing in
remember.
college. That shit was tough. And your dad is rich, is he not?
Yeah, my dad does very well for himself.
So, what pretty common seeing rich people not investing in knowledge. But before you joined, did you have any hesitations, any concerns, or anything like that?
At first, I did not even because of anything you've done. I've just heard always like I feel like everyone has the idea in the back of their head that course sellers are scammers, like that they don't have any value and they're just trying to make a quick few $1,000s off you. And then I hopped on the call with you and you actually like explained like what the course is and all this stuff. And I was like, I mean, I'm either gonna make more money by joining this or I'm gonna stay the same by joining it, but I'll still learn something bare minimum.
So, like, do you feel like the perspective of you'll just make back your money was the reason that you overcame like the concern to actually join?
Yeah, I would say so because like I had that safety net that even if it doesn't work out, I'm not losing anything crazy because I'm confident with how much money I can make a month, so I know I could make it back.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And then before we go on, like, how much were you making a month when you joined off of just like reselling, whether it's apps, wholesale, like everything? Like, how much were you making when you joined in? What month did you join? You joined in August?
Yeah, I think it was like middle of August.
Like the middle of August, like how much were you making a month on average?
Like 4 or 5K.
Okay, cool. And then, so since we've joined the program with experience in the program, what do you feel like has been your favorite part or, most valuable thing that you've been able to take away and apply to your business?
Um, I like the book of business for sure. Actually, I made quite a bit of money off of just going through all my buyers today and hitting them up, asking them what they needed, and then also the connections. Like I would pay every single dollar that's in my bank account. I'd pay that for all the connections in the group.
Apart from the connections, like what do you feel like was the biggest thing that we gave you and that you were able to like implement and apply to your business and take advantage of like really fast?
The book of business and social presence for sure.
So like social media and then just like keeping track of everything as far as
Yeah.
the buyers, like all that shit.
hmm
Okay, cool. And then, how has the program helped you look at sneaker reselling differently, if at all in any way, shape, or form?
It's helped me see like first of all, it's helped me meet like a lot of different people that I didn't even know existed. So now I know, hey, there's more people than just me who are actually taking reselling seriously. Like I know there's 20, 30 plus people that I can go and list off and talk to them about it. And definitely like friendship aspect in reselling for sure. Like Austin, Michael, Mickey, Ty, all those people, those are all my boys now. And it's like we hop on calls, we talk, and like it's good to have that in reselling because it makes you feel like there's someone always pushing you.
So since you've joined, obviously it made you look at sneaker reselling a little bit differently, look at relationships a little bit differently. What specific results have you seen? So you're making 4K a month. What are you doing now? What did you do the next month? So August, we're not even going to count it because you joined halfway through. What did you do in September?
September I did 6K.
Okay. So you did 6K profit. I thought it was more than that.
It
Was it not?
was it was 6.5 after expenses.
Okay, cool. So in September, you did 6.5. What was different from the 4K to the 6.5?
I was dialed in. Like I was not sleeping unless I closed deals. I was going to Nike outlets every day. I was doing all the stuff that I knew I had to do, and I actually finally started doing it.
Right. And then in October, what do we do in October?
We did 11.2.
11.2. Bro, that's crazy. So you went from 4K in the middle of August all the way to doing almost 12K in October. That's like 60 days down there, a little bit over 60 days. What was different? How did you do it specifically?
Connections one was a main big important thing behind that. I had most of my stuff automated. So I have someone who now packs orders for me. I have someone who ships orders for me. I have someone who does my spreadsheets. I'm about to have someone who does all my outreach. So definitely automating everything helped a lot. And then I was dialed in. Like I'd be at my friend's house and I'd be on the phone with someone trying to close a deal. I was having fun, but I also was like so dialed in, like I was working everywhere I went.
Right. That makes sense, bro. Dude, I'm actually genuinely so proud of you. You're doing fucking phenomenal. What is the goal for November? What are we gonna do in November?
15K, but I'm moving that up because we're at 5K and it's 7 days in.
That's crazy, bro. So, I mean, how does your business and mindset feel now compared to before? What's different?
Like before I was working my ass off like a little bit and I wasn't seeing any results. And now if I'm being totally honest with how everything's set up, I'm still working like 8 hours a day, but it's not like trench grinding where I'm like trying to find buyers, all this. It's like I'm hitting up certain people every day who I know can take certain things every day. I'm having my outreach go out. I'm having orders shipped daily. And then apps, I think like 150 pairs in Flex right now. So I'm just kind of dialing in every aspect of my business to make it as little work as possible.
So it's just systemizing everything and putting everything in place so that way, maybe when you wake up, you don't focus on making money, but you focus on making sure that your systems are actually making you money.
Yeah.
That's where you get real wealth. That's the difference between somebody who's making 10K a month and making more than 10K and like actually 10K. Because when you're making 10K, you can wake up and you can hustle. And it's like you have the perspective of, okay, cool, I wake up, I need to work to make money. But it's more so after 10K, you wake up and you kind of know that you're going to make money. It's just dealing with bigger problems, bigger deals, more fires.
Yeah, I think in businesses, people get like the misconception that you have to work for your business, but I think you should 100% make your business work for you.
Yeah, I agree with you. But it just takes time. That's the name of the
Yeah.
game. So, like, what specific goals do you feel are possible now? Like that you can actually hit within this business that maybe you didn't think was possible before?
I want to move to Florida next year. I also, at this point, I don't think I remember telling you that if I made 50K a month consistently before college, then I would not go. And I don't think I'll be going to college.
That's good. Are you senior or are you junior right now?
I'm a junior.
You're a junior? Yeah,
Yeah.
you got time. So, if somebody is watching this video and they're maybe on the fence about joining or even on the fence about talking to us and actually getting on a call, what would you tell them?
First of all, it doesn't hurt to ever get on a call. So I've always been kind of shy getting on calls with people, like at first, but once you kind of break that barrier, like Braden's a great guy. He doesn't just want your money. He wants you to, you know, learn and grow and become a better reseller because it helps out everyone in the long term. But I would just say if you're at a point where first off you have the money to invest into like a coaching program, you're most likely going to be able to make it back by the next month, regardless. And I can guarantee this that if you use the connections and the information and like the knowledge in the group, you'll make that back 100%.
Right. Yeah. So this is a little bit of an interesting question, but let's shift the perspective more so towards a reseller who is in a similar position to you, making less than 5K a month. Maybe they're selling apps, maybe they're selling used shoes, maybe they're wholesaling, but they can't really get past the 4 to 5K month mark. What big piece of advice would you give them, or what's one thing that you could tell them that they could implement into their business?
Um, I would definitely expand my streams of income for sure. If you're if you're just starting out making 4K a month, then you're doing great. Like that's great. But if you've been doing it for 2 years like I was and still stuck at that 4 to 5K a month, definitely I would do StockX. That's the easiest passive income I've ever made in my life. It's you list a shoe on Flex, it sells, you make money. I think 100% that every reseller should be doing StockX.
So you would tell them to get more sales channels pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay, what about wholesale advice?
Wholesale,
Do you think wholesale is worth transitioning into, or do you think they should just focus on just apps?
it's definitely worth transitioning to. For wholesale advice, it's kind of simple. Sit behind your computer, outreach as many people as you can. There was a point where I was doing 500 outreach messages a day.
Did it work?
It worked, but it's so boring and it's so brutal. But if you actually want it, you'll do the the stuff that no one else wants to do.
The same shit, bro. I do the same shit. I don't do it anymore, but I did
Yeah,
this
exactly.
for a super long period of time, and it's worth every single hour put in because it pays off.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, is there anything that we didn't go over? Is there anything else that you want to touch on specifically, or anything else that you want anybody watching this video to know?
I mean, people always have a bad like perception on courses and groups, but I think honestly the bad perception comes from people not putting in the work. Brayden and Gabe, they can tell you all the stuff to do because they do tell you what to do for the most part. Like they have all these steps on how to dropship, how to wholesale, all this great stuff. But if you don't actually do the work, you're not gonna get results. Like Brayden and Gabe won't make you rich just by joining. You actually have to work.
Yeah, cool. Anything else you want to touch on? Anything else that I didn't touch on, or no?
No, I think that's all.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can ask you specifically. I mean, how were you able to scale so fast? You know, like we've had people come into our program who were making maybe a little bit less than you. Like, I'm not going to say names or anything,
Yeah.
but we've had people join our program who have been making less than 5K a month. Have been in the program for double the amount of time that you have, and they're not making 10K a month yet. They're doing well, but they're not making 10K a month. How were you able to do that in less than 2 months?
Um, for one, I've been reselling for 2 years, so like I had a good general idea of what I needed to do already, and also like I think a lot of people are connected to money. Like I don't there's not a lot of money in my bank account right now at all. If I'm being 100% honest, but there's so much money in shoes that I have right now. And I think people think money's rare and they're emotionally connected to it. And I also think people are afraid to lose. And when they lose, they get nervous, sad, all this stuff, and they don't know what to do. So they stay down for a little bit. I think when you get knocked down, you need to get right back up.
So just not being emotionally attached to money and just doing it for a long time.
Yeah, and you gotta grind. Like I've lost probably 20K over the whole time I've done reselling. And that's not even a lot compared to what other people have lost.
No, not
And
even.
every time I've lost money, the next day I get right back to work.
Yeah, it's not a lot, dude. I've lost like six figures, bro.
Yeah.
Small numbers, bro. What do you feel like the biggest difference between somebody who is making like 4K a month like you were and now the version of you that's making 10K? Like in the simplest way possible, biggest difference between the two people.
Delegation.
I feel like you have to delegate to get to 10K a month though.
You don't have to, but it makes it so much easier.
Why though? Because I'm a big advocate against hustle to the 10K and then delegate afterwards, or at least get close to 10K before you think about hiring. Like me personally, like I didn't have a single employee until I made 20K in a month. I
Mhm. No,
got
I do agree that hustling till 10K, but literally like the day I hit 10K, I started texting all my friends, hey, come work for me. So I grinded to that 10K for sure. But after like I've made I made 5K in the past 7 days and I haven't done nearly as much work as I did when I made that 10K. Because I don't
so,
have to
so how much money would you be making if you did that much work though? You'd be at 20, you'd be at 10K. You're
for sure.
slacking. What's
For
going
sure.
on?
I
What
gotta
what
walk in.
Nah, definitely do for sure. So anything else that you want to touch on or you want any of the viewers knowing, because it's going to be primarily resellers, whether they know you're not watching this video, like anything else that you want these people to know?
Um, it's worth it. That's like if I were to sum it all up in 2 words, it's worth it. Or 3 words.
Cool. Well, I'm not going to sit here and pry you with more questions. I think you pretty much answered everything that needed to be answered. If you are watching this video and you're making less than 10K a month, or maybe you're making 10K a month and you're not happy, you have it in you to do more. Whether you work with us or you work with somebody else, I highly suggest that you invest in knowledge in some way, shape, or form because you will never regret it. It's the one thing that I've never regretted investing in. So I hope to see you on the other side. And if we can help you, reach out to us.